I'm just a kid and my life is a nightmare. I'm just a kid, I know that it's not fair. Nobody knows cause I'm alone in the world. Hey guys, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Earth 2 update video. Make Long Island emo again. That is one of my friend's band's logos phrases. I'm going to go over a bunch of things today as far as the Megacity and Earth 2 and answer a bunch of questions. So how to get free tiles. What you would have to do right now, today, is not only be a subscriber, but also what you'd have to do is comment down below with what type of merch I should come out with, whether it's shirts, hats, something like this, and what should it say as well. And then once you do that, my favorite one will get a free tile, and I'll announce it next video. Yeah, Patreon down below, just because I get over 1,000 messages a day right now. I can't answer everyone. If you want to be answered first and right away, there is a tier. There is an actual tier for that. Most of the Patreon is just, hey, support the channel, but there is a tier. You'll see when you go on. Okay, so price gain for Antarctica the past 2 days, or yesterday, was 12.41% in price. That is bananas. That was number one. Number one. Nobody else, no other country, no other place had a price gain as significant as Antarctica. And price increase, again, not just price percentage, the price increase. Antarctica was number two at 10 cents, 10.7 cents. The only one to outbeat that was the US, which they're usually number one, which they usually get like 25 cents. They were 13.7 cents. So again, Antarctica is just absolutely blowing away the leaderboards. The tile gain percentage was Antarctica again at number one with 5.36% increase in tile percentage. And the number of tiles sold was actually 11,572, which is 3,000 more than it was the day before, which is absolutely bananas. Again, part of this was me, part of this was my friend, that I've spent probably between $4,000 and $5,000 the last couple of days just on Antarctica trying to build the megacity and the wall, not the wall, the main street around the megacity, which is, again, going to be, I think it already is the biggest main street. The 4,000 tile block that we have, from my 2,000 block and everyone else's. Also, I saw some messages over there, which someone pulled a heart, which was great. Someone said, lucky loco. I guess I'm a crazy man. Lucky crazy man. And then that bigger mega city, which is like over 10,000 tiles. Those two main streets are almost connected. They will be connected by the end of the day, whether it's by me, by my friend, or you guys. I actually had a break in my main street. Everyone was buying after that. So I thought, oh, okay. So now I have to buy. So that's just what's been going on with that. As far as questions here, let's see what we have. Let us go to the tape. Oh, actually, before that, we have Antarctica went from number 62 on the board of the top 100 countries to number 56 tiles sold in the last 2 days since I announced Chavez Topia. It's not the real name, it's a working title. So 7% of yesterday's purchases in the game was Antarctica, which is bananas. All right, so Q&A. Can you have NPC labor as opposed to hiring someone else? You should be able to. In the game, you should be able to have an option to give the game money, saying like, hey, for $1, this NPC will go around and do whatever. He'll, if you have a mine, he'll collect resources from that mine. The NPC will do, if you need anything built, you'd probably say, hey, NPC, do this while I focus on something else. That's something that might happen. If it is, you are probably going to have to pay for that. However, if you do want to pay someone, I really do suggest paying someone else if it's the same. If it's the same job that they're doing, pay a real person. So this way, again, not to take away from the developers, but especially if it's like a kid or someone who's down on their luck, like, hey, like, parents are struggling, just pay them the $1 to do it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just, hey, you want to do this? You're down on your luck. You pay that. And again, most of my followers right now are between 18 and 44, but there's a couple that are 13 to 17. If you're down on your luck, whatever, yeah, I'll pay you. Come to me. Let me know. Will the game buy back people's tiles at a lower price than the market is selling? So there's a couple of reasons why they may or may not do this. Now, if too many tiles are sold and the game developers want to implement their own mini games and they need a lot of tiles for that, yes, there is a possibility that they offer, hey, a buyback of a couple of different things. as far as that, because they did say they wanted to stop people buying after I think a 50 billion tile mark, because they have a bunch of other stuff that they want to do themselves. But outside of that, we do know that if there was any fraud or people exploiting glitches or whatever, they go and the game developers, they say, okay, well, you can't do that, and we're just going to give you the money that you paid for those tiles, like your original tiles. That money that you put into the game, we give that back to you. It doesn't matter if you bought them at 10 cents and now they're $1. You're not getting that. You're getting what you paid into it because you fraudulent. So I don't think they're going to. Again, that's just for people that are doing the wrong thing. As far as people going and saying like, "Hey, you know what? I just want to cash out." I think your best place is still right now just the marketplace. As far as anywhere else, I don't know. Can you build a brothel? Well, it depends. I mean, again, there could be. The game said they wanted to shy away from X-rated stuff, but it was Dylan CEO or Nathaniel. So they were asked about a casino, and they said like, well, someone would have to build the casino, but they didn't say that it couldn't happen. So there are some slight M for mature things that can happen in here, and the only thing about that is something that I think could become really popular, and I think the only way that the developers wouldn't notice it, or if it wouldn't get shut down, is if it flies under the radar and you're just not seeing it. But something like that would get really popular, I believe, and that's something that would just explode, and maybe people could enjoy it for a little while, and the game developers would be like, yeah, you got to shut that down. So you probably could build one. I'm not going to, and not saying that it has to be that. You could just have steam rooms. You could have, with people in bathing suits, hot girls in bathing suits. But you could also have, I think they have it in one of the Monster Hunters, where you have springs, like hot springs that you can go to. So that's something that you could do, and whatever happens in those private springs or between two consenting adults, whatever. Can you build a Pokemon Center? Okay, so this is something that if anyone has been to, they have a giant one in Japan. They had one in New York City, which they basically just turned into a Nintendo World, which the Pokemon Center was down on the first floor. The rest of it was up top, but now it's just, okay, the first floor is mainly Pokemon still. But yeah, there's nothing like that in America. Definitely not Antarctica. So when I go and do something, I don't know if it'll be a Pokemon Center. It will be a shrine to Pokemon, and I will include artwork in it as well. Artwork of my own that I can upload, but because I've actually bought pieces of artwork, specifically Pokemon stuff. Actually, I'm going to show you guys right now. Ignore that. But if anyone can see, that's the shiny Gyarados. That was supposed to be a Tyranitar, but that it turned into like a Godzilla type thing. So I do have other pieces of artwork that I can and will upload, and that's something that's going to be in there as well. Not just Pokemon, and I might just have an art center as well. Will there be a weapon store? Most likely, especially if we're going to have Warring Worlds, you're going to have things that you can buy, whether it's game credits or you can trade resources for it. That's something I'm very excited about. But also fashioning your own weapons. If you're going to have a tech tree, and it's going to be something like alchemy, where you combine this, and it makes this. That's something that fashioning your own weapons. They do that in Ruby, RWBY. They do that. Say like, oh, you are going to fashion your own weapons, and it's something that I think can work in this game. Where yes, you have the option if you just need to click something to go on a mission or whatever, but also if you're going to be able to have a tech tree with all these things, that could be the possibilities for that are unlimited. There's so many different things that you could do. Can you sell merch with Pokemon on it? So I don't know about you talking about me myself or in the game, but as far as in the game, I should be able to put, again, you could upload skins, you could upload whatever you want, even street art. There's no saying that it can't be whatever it wants to be. So yeah, you could do that, make the logo Pokemon or a Pokeball, or like that tail that Katy Perry has for the electric thing she was hired for Pokemon's 25th anniversary. They're going to do a bunch of collabs and stuff. And for anyone that hasn't seen it, it's just like a picture of like a neon electric tail, Pikachu's tail, and then Katy Perry singing Electric. This is really cool. So yeah, you should be able to do that. Can we get an auction haul? Yes, I love this idea. Something where if you have weapons that you have made that maybe no one else has, or maybe something that's unique, and it doesn't even have to be unique. It could be something where, let's say if the game offers you this weapon at $100, but it will only buy that weapon back at $50, and you have a bunch of these people that want it, and they say like, well, I don't want to pay $100 for it. We'll give you more than the game would give you for $50. And again, I'm just using this as an example. You should be able to have an auction hall where people outbid each other, and people go and say like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to this auction. I'm gonna get this weapon that normally costs $100, and obviously you can get it for $99, or you could get it for much, 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 much cheaper than that. Where if somebody says like, I don't need this anymore, I'm gonna upgrade my weapon, I'm gonna upgrade my armor, whatever it is. So that's something that I'm very, very much, and that's just with weapons I'm thinking of. They could have that for artwork, for pixels, for skins. Again, unique artwork. I'm bringing here's my Patreon type of knowledge in here. This is where you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. This is free. Is really just saying, okay, going and having unique artwork in Pokemon or in general, is so rare. People are going to pay such a premium if there's only a small amount of it. And if you make a unique skin, if you're a talented artist, if you're a glass maker, you make unique things with that, and you auction that off, and there's only one of them, people are going to pay such a premium for that. If it takes, and again, I'm not artistic at all. I have zero artistic capabilities, so I appreciate when someone does things like that. It's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful, because I can't do that myself. I can't, like, I can play violin, I can play piano, I cannot write music. I suck at it. So when people write this beautiful symphony, it's like, oh, I need to play it. Like, it's so beautiful. So unique artwork is something that I think will be another way that people can make a lot of money. Yes, you have people doing tasks for you. Yes, you want to design my building, you want to put artwork on the side of my building. Yes, I'll hire you for that. But if you have things like accessories for not just your person, your avatar, but maybe accessories for the animal that can follow you around. Because again, they have that in Monster Hunter. You get a cat, and Among Us you can have something like that. So the game developers are definitely aware of that, and we'll be able to have something like that in the game. Something like that for you. We're matching outfits. That would be so cool. That would be so awesome. And that's going to make a lot of people a lot of money. I guarantee it. Quote me on that. Someone asked if I could build a racetrack at some point. And I was like, well, I'm going to have that in Brazil with a boating racetrack. But what I thought is, all right, if we're in the snow and I have a giant megacity over here, and then we have a main street and then another giant megacity over here, wouldn't it be cool if, okay, most of the main street is these three tiles. So one on top for a booth, whatever you need, one on bottom for a booth, whatever you need, and that sidewalk, that one thing in the middle is just going to be a road, a walkway, which again, I don't think any other megacity has at this point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have two racetracks, one on top and one on bottom, so that this way, if people are facing this way to look at the shops or whatever, they can just go outside and turn the other way and like, oh my God, look at people racing by. That is going to be so cool. That is going to be amazing, where you're just seeing people just flying by as you're shopping. I need to find a concession stand or something. So yeah, that's something I really want to do as well. How much have you spent on this game so far? Between $5,000 and $6,000, something like that. But that's not including time. The amount of time I've put into this with videos and researching, and oh my God, it is, and how much money I've lost because I've done that, as opposed to working on Pokemon business or the high risk lending business. I don't even want to think about it. But long term, this is good. Can you make a fake city so we can paintball or airsoft in it? Okay, so that sounds expensive. I do not want to do that. I don't want to pay and use the resources and spend the time to build it. However, that sounds like so much fun. Manhunt in an empty, abandoned city. That's what I want. Someone mentioned ghost towns the other day, and I'm like, okay, well, do you mean like a ghost town where someone built a town and nobody's in it? Or a town populated by ghosts, by Boos from Mario, by other... any type of ghost that you could think of. And I was like, that sounds cool. I would want to build something like that. So this, yeah, it just expands my idea. Manhunt in an abandoned town, hide and seek in there, and airsoft and paintball and that. What we have in the military is when we train to try to clear buildings, okay, red side, white side, and doing all this thing, we train. There's a town that's built that is supposed to just represent a town, whether it's in Baghdad or Fallujah or wherever in Iraq or Afghanistan, and that's how we train with those mock towns. So doing that in this game sounds really cool. It sounds really fun. I just don't want to build it. It's just gonna take a lot of time. Just for it to not be used, but it'll be used. So yeah. How will trash be dealt with in the game? Like, how will it be collected? I don't know. I'd like to think that, hey, here's my dish and here's my drinking glass, and then extra food is just, magically gone. I don't know. That's a good idea. If it's, I don't think they're gonna have trash in the game. I hope they don't. Like, if people throw their cup on the floor, what happens to the cup? I hope it magically disappears. If not, yeah, probably some good Samaritans being like, oh, clean Earth 2, clean Earth 2. So around those lines. So the winner of last time was, it was Creepo Brook. So Creepo Brook, he was saying like, oh, you should have a merch store. So that's why that was this question. So Creepo Brook messaged me on Facebook, so find out how to get your free tile. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments good for the YouTube algorithm. I love you all. Bye.